Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Ooh, you
I
changed.
know. I
That
started to
threw
yawn.
me.
I started to yawn and I thought
Oh
I
my
just got to
God.
get out of hi.
Meredith just broke me. Oh, okay.
Your
I'm
name.
Alicia.
And I'm Mary.
And this is Summer's Funnest Summer House podcast. Oh, season 6, episode 12. I think we have 2 more episodes left. That's my guess.
Here's my guess. My guess is 4 because I
Oh
think
my
they're
God.
gonna.
We're gonna double up each. Oh no.
Usually when we find out they did the reunion, it's like a month later we get the
Oh,
actual
you're right.
episodes. And I think
All
at least
right.
you're right about at least 2, but I think they're gonna split
Well,
the wedding and the last weekend into 2.
yeah, probably. I guess I'm just optimistic for like fun short seasons.
And I just like
Anyway,
when they do even numbers. So then we'll be at like 14 to 16. Like if they give us 3 more, I'm
that's
gonna be
true.
pissed.
They give us 15. Meredith's gonna
Oh.
fucking kill someone. So check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. It's about the pasta Vanderpump Rules podcast, and we have One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. We do have one new review, Meredith.
Oh my gosh.
Ready? Okay, so it's 5 stars from M Carol 15, and it's titled "Feels Like Catching with Friends." I'm sure it was catching up with friends, but feels like catching with friends. Thumbs up. It was probably Apple that fucked that up. Anyway, M Carol writes, "I'm so glad I found this Summer House podcast. Not enough people in my life are obsessed with Summer House like me, and this podcast makes me feel like I'm chatting with my friends about my thoughts on the show. Love that they include the timestamps from each episode.
So
It's a
awful, Alicia.
fabulous and fun podcast. Thanks. No, thanks to you, M Carol. I work really hard on those timestamps and I always fuck them up. I'm like so annoyed that they can't just be like 7:15.
But I love it too. Like it's not something I track as I watch the show. I obviously know like, oh, is it morning or whatever by their actions, but like it helps, you know me, I'm such a timeline person. It helps ground me.
Sometimes I fuck up. Like I think there's one point in here I go, oh, I missed the timestamp, but
Oh well.
it should
A
happen.
general sense is helpful. Plus,
But
what I really like about that review is that this is exactly how Alicia and I found each other. We didn't have many people to talk to about reality TV, so here we are.
There
Way
was
too many
one day Meredith was like, I was watching TV and I was like, what do you watch? And she embarrassingly named a show.
And you like subtly drop one to see if they're into reality TV, and then you just crack it wide open.
She subtly dropped a show and I said, wait a second, I watched that show. And we immediately, I think it was The Challenge we maybe
No, I don't think I went that hard because I know people do not watch that show. I think I subtly dropped Teen Mom maybe. And once we
maybe
were
Vanderpump or something.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Okay, go us. So M Carol, who knows? Just subtly drop it, see what happens. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. I posted my polls. I did it. I didn't read your DMs. Meredith did it, but I did the polls.
Also on Summer House in relation to opinions. I'm just going to put it out there.
There's some opinions. We'll talk. Okay. But also join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our pre-shows where Meredith and I catch up probably about other TV shows we watch because that's all we do. We don't have kids. All we do is watch TV.
Things we can't do a whole podcast on, a whole series on.
The best part is we probably could. We just won't.
It's a lot of commitment for the amount of TV we like to watch.
It's a lot. Also, you get access to any episodes that we record early, and eventually we will be going back and watching old Summer House episodes. So that's the place to listen to them.
I'm so excited for it.
For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after shows that we do when we watch old seasons, so we don't give any spoilers away on the actual episode. And we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Ashley, Chris, Courtney, Danae, Dustin, Jackie, Kimberly, Cameron, Tiffany, Tracy, Gina, Jennifer, Kelsey, Mariah, Sarah A, and Sarah M.
Yay!
Woo! We love you guys. You guys are literally the best. Makes me tear. Okay, and then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live shows, you get the ability to give us your thoughts. We got some thoughts on this episode, which hasn't happened in a while. So we're going to share those thoughts at the end of the episode, and I will not forget. Also, we pick a patron of the episode, which I have to do a better job at keeping track of it, but that'll be for a different season. So this week, I'm gonna pick Danae.
Yeah,
Danae's been around a really long time. I've looked up how to say her name, and I appreciate her in case I ever did or do say it wrong, because she has not yelled at me. But if you want to, Danae, just slide in my DMs. I'll take it.
And with or without the name correction, she gives us great thoughts.
She's great. Okay, so let's get into the episode. Meredith's drinking, but I'm probably the one that's going to sound drunk because I can't speak English so many times.
All I want to say is I tried these Ashland seltzers, which a lot of influencers drink out here in California. I think they're only available on the West Coast, and I love them.
Actually, if you guys didn't know, Meredith is now an influencer, so
not sponsored. No sugar, gluten-free, no carbs.
Not sponsored yet. We're still waiting. I will mark the day on my calendar when some brand slides into our DMs and asks to sponsor us, because I would do nothing but talk about that brand.
Oh my lordy. I can't be food or drink because I do that for my day job all day, every day.
It has to be something I like. Like, don't sponsor me. Like, I hope cigarettes don't sponsor me because I don't smoke those.
There's a lot of legal rules around stuff like that. So,
but I don't know, like Crest toothpaste, hit me up. I'll talk about you all day long. Don't think I
we'll
won't.
release these videos so you can see how white our teeth are.
You just do a time lapse of us brushing our teeth.
I'm just posing at Alicia now.
Look at us with our pearly whites. That's funny. We would be really great brand ambassadors, mostly because we don't have any other brands. So you would be our
dedicated.
Yeah, truly.
Well, instead, we're dedicated to this show.
Nice way to tell me to stop rambling. Okay, so previously on Summer House, we had beach volleyball. Carl's focusing on his sobriety and doesn't really want to focus on a relationship. Danielle set up Maya with Oliver, and they went on a date, and it went really well. And in Watch What Happens Live, it was confirmed they are still dating. So
jumping ahead, aren't we?
I can't help it. I'm obsessed. Okay, so Kyle brought up a prenup to Amanda, but she's not down with it. Andrea feels lonely because he dumped Lexi for Paige, and now he has nothing. Lindsay had a miscarriage, so she's letting loose this summer, including hooking up with Austin, but she didn't have sex with him. She had sex with not Austin, if you remember correctly. Okay, so we open up in New York. It's Friday. It's 3:01 p.m. Alex is back after being asked not to come.
Our inside knowledge.
They're driving down the Hamptons. Lindsay and Carl drive down together. Now listen up, because these two are now dating, any moment they have is now, it's like it's the Paige and Craig thing where any interaction, but this worked out
it's a
really
spotlight.
well.
Yeah.
So they're driving down together. They both got new hair. Lindsay's is pink. Carl just got a haircut. They're excited to dance. And Carl's like, I think kind of starting to feel Lindsay a little bit, because hear me out. Hear out my theory.
Yeah.
Meredith hates my theories, I'm sure.
No, I'm intrigued because
hear my theory.
I don't see it yet.
Carl in an interview said that he really realized his feelings for Lindsay at Kyle and Amanda's wedding. That's when he was like, wow, I think I do have feelings.
Yeah.
Now, he did say there were moments throughout the summer that he was like, wow, I love Lindsay. Like, she'd be great. Like, I'd love, like many things of like, wish we were dating, but we're not. Mm-hmm. So there was, I don't know what Lindsay said, but she's rambling about like dancing and her pink hair and whatever.
Oh yeah. She said she was dancing naked in her apartment last night.
She was dancing naked. And the way Carl looked at her was not like, what? Or like, that's funny. He like looked at her like with this
I wonder if he was
face.
picturing it,
I think that's when he was
and
like,
then you're
that's
like,
hot.
Ooh.
I know. I'm so excited. Yeah. Okay. So, and then they get to the house first. Carl brings in Lindsay's luggage. Then Danielle and Robert get here. This is the first time they're showing up together.
Which is wild to think about. Listen, I want Robert full-time on this show.
Love Robert. He dropped the most iconic line we'll talk about, but he's amazing. Okay. So, then the girls, Maya, Sierra, and Paige show up. Maya and Robert's friendship makes me really happy. I want them to hang out and like go play skee ball together or
This
something
is one of my
weird.
favorite things kind of about this show is like, even though you may have like, you know, Maya's like kind of with the girls, like everybody has little connections all throughout. So you may not spend your whole day with them or sit next to them at every meal, but like Maya and Robert have like the chef thing in common. And, you know, like Danielle has that like, and Maya had the
like Oliver with her. So they're like close.
It's like nice to see these like little connections that they have throughout the group.
I'm excited for Maya to eventually get in bed with Robert and Danielle again. That was the highlight of my whole summer. Anyway, so Maya looks hot. She showed up to this summer house not playing. Andrea and Alex are here. Everyone missed Alex. I kind of missed Alex like a little bit, but not enough to like care too much. I feel bad.
That's it. Yeah. I kind of, you know how you have that sometimes there was that person in your friend group or kind of adjacent to your friend group that was just more quiet. So it's like they didn't speak up for themselves and like get invited to stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And it's mostly because you're just like, I forgot. Hey, like, do you want to go? Like, you kind of forget about them. I feel like Alex is that friend in this group.
Yes. But I think him and Andrea are close. So I'm happy Andrea has like his buddy, you know, especially if Luke's not here, which he's not. He's gone this weekend. Okay, Paige and Andrea embrace in the most intense loving hug, and it like weirds me out like slightly. Just because, like, listen, I understand you had a thing and now you're friends, but also this was like a hot hug.
This is giving me Austin and Lindsay vibes right now. Like, let it go.
They're gonna kiss on the mouth.
Yeah, we're not kiss on the mouth friends right now. Like, we had that moment. We're done with it. Give a normal hug.
So
like,
funny.
I feel like Andrea would give a really nice tight squeeze, like hug. But like, we don't need to wrap our legs around him.
Wrap. That's the move of the summer, though.
I guess it's what friends do. I need to find better friends.
So we're having a no, I don't want these friends. Don't kiss me on the mouth.
All I think about are families who kiss on the mouth, and it weirds me out.
I hate them. We've talked about it before. I hate them. Anyway, so we're having a beach party. It's boho chic. Oliver's gonna come along with Lindsay's, as she calls it, flavor of the week. Amen. Now, I think if Lindsay didn't say this, it would be really horrible if someone else said it. But Lindsay self-admits it's my flavor of the week. I got amen. So they actually met. So Danielle is friends with Oliver and Amen, and Oliver and Amen are best friends. I think that's right.
It has a D.
Ahmed. I thought it was Ahmen. I thought how it appeared on screen, but
I thought it had a D. But either way,
Ahmed. Okay.
Let's go with yours because I think
bad.
I'm wrong.
Oliver's friend is Lindsay's flavor of the week named Ahmed. So we'll look it up. Anyway, how this all happened was Danielle's friends with both the boys. And so Lindsay has met him before and she just never really talked to him. So now they talked and they're going to hook up. I think they already might've hooked up and they're going to hang out tonight. So it's going to be fun. Okay, so now it's 5:54. Kyle and Amanda are here. Amanda brings in her own luggage and no one says hi because everyone else has been here and we're all getting ready for boho chic.
Oh my God. Then Kyle was like so unhappy with this greeting.
Sorry.
I want to know like how late they were because if it's when you are getting ready, it's like, I'm not going to come run down to the house. You're not like my dad and I'm 7 years old.
So Lindsay's talking about her hookup with Amanda. So Sierra's upset. She doesn't want to hear about it. Kyle shares that he was on the phone the whole ride up here working and it really pissed Amanda off. But you know what? Loverboy is risking loading dates in a bunch of states. So that's priority numero uno, Amanda.
But that is stressful because like by the time they're filming this, think about all those supply chain issues that were going on. Like, where was that ship that got stuck in that canal? Like, when did that happen? You know,
there was a can shortage.
That too,
super weird. Yeah,
like this is stressful. I give him that, and he just got to the house, so I totally understand. Like,
but Lindsay shuts it down. Guess what? It's time to freaking party. Carl dies. Again, I like can't stop looking at the way Carl looks at Lindsay. I'm so sorry. I'm romanticizing it for all of you. I'm hopeless romantic when I know couples work out.
I think
Anyway,
he just knows her so well. So
he thinks
they've
it's
such a
funny.
connection,
Yeah.
despite it being like romantic and like that is still there, I do think, but like their friend connection is so strong, which I think makes it so much easier for them to ramp it up in the fall when they do really start things.
Love it. Anyway, so Maya's trying to play it cool, even though Oliver's coming, but she is actually really nervous and she thinks things are going a little too fast. Like she doesn't even text her friends every day. How is she supposed to text this guy every day?
I feel this.
I get this
so hard because she's like, I love being alone. Like I just want to do my life on my own, but have someone to also share it with kind of at the same time.
On my terms.
Yes. It's like
so Paige and Sierra let her know that it's like normal to talk to the guy you're talking to every day. And Maya's just like so stressed. And then there's a joke that there might be some daddy issues, which Maya's like, there is.
Actually, yes, that hit too close to home.
She starts crying. And I felt so bad because she had a tough relationship with her dad. She didn't see eye to eye. And she felt like her sister was more the perfect child. So Maya a lot of the time questioned her worth. And Sierra does offer if Maya wants to talk about it. Sierra has also been open about her parental issues. But we're gonna unpack it a different day because Oliver's coming and we gotta look fucking fine. Okay.
Yeah, we got a big night ahead. That's the worst when something kind of comes up and then you're like, all right, wait, let's package that right back up because we have a party later to get to.
I know. I really love Maya. I think she's just like,
she's so real. I want more time with her, and it's hard with so many big characters in a house. So I really want a season 2 out of her.
Listen, she did pretty good on Watch What Happens Live. I think she's gonna stick around.
I was about to say her being on Watch What Happens Live, I think shows she's gonna get a season 2. And she was on it alone. I mean, obviously there was somebody else in a chair with her, but she was the only Summer House person.
Yeah. So she was representing.
When Winter House happened, Sierra, Andrea and Jason, I think all went together.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like 3 of them.
Yeah, where it's like, all right, you don't really get that much time and attention. So I think they're all in on Maya.
We're all in on Maya.
100%.
Kyle doesn't know what boho chic is. He asked if it's Bohemian Rhapsody, which fucking shows is so
I would
funny.
Die if he showed up
as like Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
That would have been awesome.
Yes, I need that.
So it's 7:10. Robert and Danielle are getting this beach party together. Robert has made a spread. We have finger foods. We have lobster rolls. We have a meat and cheese board.
Amazing.
All of it.
And it was beautiful. Which Danielle did post that they didn't do this all on their own. There was I think 2 amazing ladies who did like the decoration setup. So just want to shout out those.
Them out. Yeah. Oh my God. But they do see dolphins. What a beautiful.
This happened to me when I went to the beach on Friday.
Was it? You saw dolphins?
Yeah, it was so cool.
Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, Robert did this for Danielle a few weeks ago. They love their beach picnics, and now they're inviting everyone. Robert's literally.
I think I need to marry a chef.
I know, same. Actually, there was this guy on Hinge I just matched with, and he's not cute, but he's a chef, so I just matched him because I'm like, I'm more interested. He could be Robert. Yeah, he could. Even though Robert's very cute, but it might be his personality. I don't know.
The thing about like how much Robert's hair fluctuates. I feel like hair changes a person and how they look. So like we can change up some hair on this dude.
That's true. Okay, so everyone's going to the beach. They freaking love it. They love it. We're all obsessed with it. Amanda only brought cups that don't even match the fucking aesthetic, Amanda.
That is so funny. I wonder if they forgot cups and texted like, hey, can you bring cups?
Amanda's like, hello, thank you for having me. I brought cups.
Yeah, she's like, thanks for this whole setup. Here's all I have brought to this party.
Yeah. Maya and Lindsay are bonding because they got their men coming. So they're drinking tequila. But Lindsay's like, let's call them. Where are they? They're late. And Maya's like, no, I'd rather them not show up.
We are the polar opposite of women for these 2 best friends.
Maya's like, if they never show up, that's fine. And Lindsay's like, if they're not here in 5 minutes, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. We should
She's like, I will hunt them down.
Yeah. But she owns it. She's like, get them here. I'm done. So they make a fire without Luke, and it made me sad, but it's like a nice fire. So it's the second last weekend of summer. We're
Like,
looking forward to the wedding.
what?
28 days.
Second to last weekend of summer. Wow. When did we get here?
Days. I know. The boys are having trouble sitting because it's like floor style.
It's not like low table with those pillows. Guys always struggle.
Yeah, boys just don't have the hip flexors for it. Craig left on Monday, and on Sunday he introduced Paige to his parents via FaceTime, and they talked again about going to Delaware.
Oh my
but
God.
I'm sure he's still like, we're not exclusive or serious.
This doesn't
like,
change anything. But I really want you to meet my parents on FaceTime right now.
This changes nothing. I still don't want you to be my girlfriend.
I would be even more confused, like this kind of back and forth with like actions versus words, because his actions show he wants to be in a relationship. That's the worst part. Usually it's the opposite.
Yeah, I just hope Paige has never brought up her parents around Craig. So then it's like double funny because he's like, how are your parents? And she's like, fine, we're not going to call them.
We don't go there.
They don't want you to come to Albany. Don't worry
about it. They want
Andrea.
They love Andrea. Yeah, they've met Andrea.
That's what's going to happen. How are your parents? They love Andrea. And speaking of Andrea, he's upset because he tried this week to get a hold of Lexi, and now he's listening to Paige talk about love, and he just wants love, and he doesn't have love.
He said hold of? I thought he said let go of. Like he was trying to get over Lexi. He said? Probably not, but like
I thought he meant he was trying to get a hold of her and she wouldn't take his calls.
I don't know why, but I heard let go of, and I was like, dude, it's gonna take more than a week.
Either way, neither one worked. So we did either one. It doesn't matter actually. So Danielle, this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part of the episode. I don't care. She's talking about going to Charleston, and she's still a little nervous and hesitant to go to Charleston. And then Robert is like, you have to go, or else you'll be the girl that didn't go to Paris.
Which, I mean, just a moment of silence for Robert.
If you don't know this, I swear to God, stop listening to the podcast, because we only stand girls that go to Paris.
Oh, Alicia and I are both girls who have gone to Paris.
I actually went to Paris when I knew Meredith, and she told me that I'm the girl that went to Paris, and I almost died.
Well, Alicia also went to Paris on my birthday.
It wasn't Meredith's real birthday. She changed it for me.
Alicia has a fake birthday for me because of it.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, Danielle's really nervous because it's becoming real, and she never pictured herself moving somewhere for a man, which I get. Even if you love them, you never picture yourself being like, I'm going to give up my life for you.
That's the thing, is you're making like big decisions for someone. And I think it's always like, what if this goes wrong?
And I think Danielle is so independent and had been for so long. She's like, why would I give up my life?
Yeah. And I don't think they live together. So
they do now in real life. But
I don't think at this time they did.
I don't think either.
Or for the longest time they didn't, that it's like, okay, if we're going to move to a city together, like we're getting a place together too. So that's two huge steps.
Yeah. Okay, Maya is drunk. Her dress straps are falling off. This girl is
She was having trouble with it when she was laying in bed talking to Sierra and Paige though too. I think she's trying to put an effort, but it's so unnatural for her to like put this.
She's like, I wore a dress, did it, and it doesn't even fit right. Carl and Kyle have a talk. Carl's been struggling. He hasn't been sleeping well. He doesn't like the idea of dating.
I was so nervous when he started talking about
I was
not sleeping well, and I was like, oh my God.
Did he
fall off the wagon?
I know.
Yeah.
But no, instead, he's just not going to date Mackenzie, which is fine.
Like,
that's
bless
fine.
Up.
Great.
We'll take it.
Get rid of her. She's a distraction to his sobriety, so he ended things with her. And Kyle says, I think Carl's like really scared to disappoint Kyle.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not going to date my dude. Like, it's just not going to happen. But Kyle says he knows Carl comes first, and he doesn't want Carl to rush into dating because Carl's got this. And yeah, Carl was all anxious and stressed. He's gonna work on it. He's feeling a little better now. The summer has been a lot for him though. And having too much on your plate is a recipe for a relapse, and he wants to stay alive, which is very glossed over. It like cut to the next scene. I was like, did he say stay alive? My little baby.
I also wonder if Carl feels like he needs to be in a relationship because it helps ground Kyle too. You know, like they can do couple things, and like Kyle's not going out and getting hammered, and he'll like want to stay in and like just do like a fun dinner.
Yeah. And I think like your friends in relationships, I found this with my friends, they tend to be more of like, why aren't you dating? Why don't you go on more dates?
Yeah.
Why don't you have a date every night? And it's like, sometimes you just don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy you found
I
this
feel like they
person you wanna
can't see
spend every
outside
night
of that
with.
world because they're so in it.
Yeah, like I'm so happy you're dating someone.
I'm
I'm
so
fine
happy
by
that
myself.
I'm not dating someone.
Yeah, I'm honestly okay. Okay, so we have 28 days till the wedding. Paige is so excited. It's like it's her own wedding. Basically because remember she's gonna get engaged to Craig. He's
I'm
gonna
meeting the
propose.
parents, so we're getting married too.
Amanda let her know. So Amanda tells Paige and Sierra about the prenup, and Amanda wants just the information presented to her and the facts, and they can go from there. And then we cut back to Kyle and Carl. Kyle has not done anything for this prenup. Everything else is too much. But Carl did some research because Carl's a fucking star. And he says
a real adult.
Honestly, he says entrepreneurs usually do get prenups. They usually need prenups because the business affects everything, like the investors, the employee, like there's so many people involved to get a prenup.
Yep.
So Kyle also has majority of stock, so he has majority of control. And if something does happen, probably half that stock would go to Amanda, which would cause issues.
Yes.
Now, cut back to the girls. The girls know that they need a prenup because of Loverboy and the investors, but Amanda has none of the company. So if they get a divorce, she's going to walk away with something, at least half.
Which is why you should want a prenup. So you can get it in writing.
Yeah, he could fight to not give you any.
Yep.
Also, I think Amanda should have, when Loverboy first started, she should have asked for a small stake in the company.
I agree. I think that was a mistake on her part.
It was right. It was like Kyle, Amanda, and Carl were the first 3 employees. We should have
well, there's other people a part of it other than that, but
at the beginning, at like the very beginning, at the core, wasn't it like
Kyle had like a co-founder, like a COO person that they never really feature. And then think about those Zoom calls we saw whenever Amanda was getting iced that one time. There's like 4 people on that call, and Carl was one of them, and Kyle was too. So
investors. I don't know. I would have asked for stock options. A lot of companies offer that. A little stake in the company. I'm
shocked she left her job.
That was on Amanda.
A salary.
That was on Amanda. That bitch. I would have been like, give me.
But this is why she should also want a prenup. Like you have nothing, write it in there. And so it's settled. Like fight for yourself. And this is why you should have a lawyer who's representing yourself.
Agreed. So it's 8:26 p.m. It's 8:26, and then immediately it's 8:43 because Oliver and Ahmed show up. It is with a D, everyone. Our resident
research expert.
Meredith has looked it up. I was wrong. Anyway, Alex is eating carbs. Something
I think it's so funny when people who are like so into like fitness get shit on for what they eat. And Alex is like, actually, I probably eat the most carbs in this house because people don't actually know what carbs are. They just think it's bread.
Actually, I count my carbs, and it's
he probably is a macro person.
Yeah. But Kyle feels like Alex is on a journey. Like now he's loosening up. He's eating less turkey. He's becoming more himself.
This is what you do when you're like, hey, dude, we have nothing in common that we have found yet. So we're just going to talk about like how your life's been this summer from a very high level.
Yes. But Alex does say he felt a change in himself. He's not as uptight and he's less shy because these are his friends now. Mom, he made it. He has friends.
I feel like this is, I don't know, Alex probably did go to college, but I feel like this is like what kids 18 to 21 go through. Yeah. And he's like having it now.
Yeah, 100%.
Like communal living, a bunch of people like who are different from you, and you're like,
no one's eating your turkey.
Yeah.
No one
just
wants
like it. I feel like it was just this like crazy summer for him, and he's like, all right, there's more to life.
So then Andrea sets the mood with some drums because Maya and Oliver are trying to flirt, but Maya's like very timid. Meanwhile, Lindsay and Ahmed are flirting. Hardcore. And she's basically straddling his lap, which different vibes for different
Tribes. Yeah. She's
Correct.
doing
I
that.
don't
She's
know.
doing the Austin Lindsay BFF hug.
I love. Okay, but Maya and Oliver are like extra cute. Oliver does catch Paige staring at them. And then Amanda doesn't think that Amand is someone that Lindsay would typically be with, but like maybe that's a good thing.
I agree.
I don't
But
know. But
I don't think we get to know enough of the people enough, because you just get like, when people date on the show, you just get a little snippet of them.
yeah, we don't even know
So
Mackenzie that well.
exactly. So I feel like that, I mean, Amanda actually knows Lindsay. So I wish we were able to like get a little snapshot, like report of all the people Lindsay has dated or like seen, and like just a little
I
bit
hope
more
the last
info.
episode they list every like pictures of
Just give me like
everyone she's hooked
trading
up with or
cards with the
dated.
high level
Yeah, yeah,
insights
yeah.
on
I'd
each
love.
person.
I just need to remember.
Exactly.
But she's trying to get him drunk. She's all over him. She has the leg wrap.
She loves a good leg rub. She's a very
Hot.
touchy-feely person.
I love.
And it's interesting to see this comparison between like Maya and Oliver sitting down, because Maya's much more
She's
guarded.
like, don't touch me.
And Lindsay, who's much more open. And so seeing how these like dates are kind of playing out.
Yeah. And we find out they had a sleepover last night. So
Go off, queen.
they're probably going to try and have a sleepover tonight. So we have a dance party, and Danielle does invite the boys over to their house, but Oliver sounds very hesitant to go, which then I was like, does he not like Maya?
I was
I was
stressed.
freaking out.
I know.
So then, but actually I think it was because they had just gotten to the like their house and gone immediately to the beach. So they didn't like have anything. And Oliver was, listen, I get like this. I want to get back. I want to relax. I want to do my thing.
I know. And I think they mentioned, because whenever they were talking at the beach, Oliver mentioned like, oh, we'll go back to your house or our house, and then maybe we'll go to your house. And I think it's one of those things of like, okay, if you guys are just going back to your house to like regroup and then go out, like we'll meet you out, because we kind of want to go regroup ourselves.
Would rather regroup by myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's 10:41. We're back at the house. Maya's trying to get her clothes off and knocks over a picture, and I've fucking been here. I've been here.
I literally was screaming at my phone when I was watching, like, oh my God, like catch it. There's nothing worse than glass everywhere.
I know.
We already knew that from a few episodes ago.
So, we did. So we know it's 10:55 now. Danielle, like the next car comes and you hear Danielle go, Lindsay, come here. And then we find out that Amand and Oliver left, and Lindsay is pissed.
Yes.
Because no matter what, you stay with Lindsay.
Oh my God. That like car ride, I wish we had cameras in there, because like
I know.
Robert's like, that was the worst car ride of my life.
Listen, I think this is one of Lindsay's traumas, is people leaving.
That is so true. I kind of forgot about that.
I think drunk Lindsay expects someone to come home.
Yeah.
Doesn't get that.
Or over communicate to her that they're leaving.
Yes. It like brings the trauma up, and she gets becomes activated. So we call out now. And Lindsay's so mad. She's yelling. She's like, fuck you for leaving me. You shouldn't have done that. How dare you? And he's like, you're not going to berate me. If you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. She's like, let's do it. Let's have a motherfucking conversation. Let's fucking do it.
Oh, Lindsay, you're not going to get the end result if you just keep like hollering at him. Like,
was I the only one laughing? Was I the only one fucking
I think I was just eyes wide open, because I mean Danielle handles Lindsay so
Danielle's
well.
like, Danielle's
like trying to mediate it, I feel like, and being like, Ahmed,
but Lindsay is
this is what she's feeling. Yeah. I'm like,
I thought it was all hilarious, because Lindsay, I already knew Lindsay was going to wake up and be like, not a big deal.
100%. And I feel like that's what pisses me off the most, is I'm like, oh, Lindsay girl, like check yourself, like learn from your behaviors. Like, don't do this. Not again.
She owns it. She owns it. She loves it. I love it. I thought it was so funny. Anyway, he apologizes and said he'll call her back. So we move on. It's 11:24. Andrea's telling Alex about this Lexi situation. He's so sad. This man is so heartbroken. Craig got a haircut. Shout out.
Oh my
Paige
God.
on the phone.
I need them to stop FaceTiming each other every 5 seconds.
Yeah. The girls are like, okay, bye, Paige. And she's like, wait, I'll come. Craig's like, I just wanted to call to say hi.
No,
and she's like, I'll bring you with.
This is Maya's worst nightmare in a relationship.
Get out.
No.
She would have been like, hey, Oliver, I'm not gonna talk right now.
She wouldn't have answered. Oliver would have never called her.
No, Oliver knows better. So Lindsay tells Kyle that she's really mad. Kyle does a good job of kind of being like, calm down, give me a hug. Lindsay does say like, that,
dude, you met a week ago. Like
Lindsay does, she does go off that like she feels like no one cares when she's upset, which might also just be an issue in the house that like resurfaces with this. But Kyle then hugs her and is like, no, that's not true. I love you. Yeah. Very nice. The friendship comes through.
I think Lindsay also isn't good at putting her emotions in the center of the group, which like is a positive thing. But like if from the cameras, from the video we saw, Lindsay's mad outside with Robert and Danielle. Danielle's handling Lindsay. And then they're in her bedroom having the conversation. So it's like, nobody's going to walk in on that uninvited.
Yes.
So sometimes I worry that like people, you know how like, I mean, we all have our own things. And so like Lindsay feels hurt by this, but sometimes if you want something, you got to ask for it from somebody else.
I think she wants everyone to like love and care about her, but it's a moment of like, it's not the right time. And I think drunk Lindsay just can't see it, you know, like drunk Lindsay is very clouded.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oliver texted Maya. She said, don't make plans on me because I might not want to go out. So he didn't.
I love it. I love it.
This is the relationship I want. Danielle, set me up, girl.
I know.
Robert hasn't seen the stupid Christmas episode. That's all we know. I found out later it's Ted Lasso, you guys. Carl just took a shit, so he missed what everyone else was doing. Anyway, healthy bowels. So it's 1:28 a.m. Amanda takes off Kyle's pants.
Oh my God, I love this. This reminds me of the previous season whenever she's trying to pull him back.
Yeah, she's like trying. I think she's trying to change him, but they're both drunk. And Kyle
I think she's trying to force him. She's trying to force him to bed because she's like, Kyle, go to bed. You're always the last one up. And I think she's like pushing him towards their room and then like he won't go. So I bet she's trying to like, force him to go to the room if she like removes his pants.
Yeah, it was literally like his head hits like the bed. So he's like in a V and she like pulls down his pants. So then he's like,
his ass is out.
And he's like, what? He's like, what are you doing? And she's like, just get asleep.
Go to bed. Just go to bed.
So now it's Saturday morning. I think probably around 7 or 8. This is the timestamp I missed. Anyway, Maya's gonna make pancakes for the house, but she doesn't do Bisquick. So I don't know what she's gonna do here because all we got is Bisquick.
Well, she's gonna use it. She just has never used it before.
She hates it. Carl used to, but he's not gonna help. He's gonna go work out because he makes him feel better.
And he is getting back to his sober routine with meditation and working out, focusing on himself. We love to see it.
Oh yeah, dude's hot. Okay, so Lindsay, I think Lindsay would find great pride if someone said your man's hot. Girl, your man
I agree with that.
Hot.
I agree.
So it's 11:19 a.m. Maya made some great pancakes. Lindsay's feeling better. It was a big miscommunication. He didn't have signal.
I think this is why it's actually hard for people to like get involved in a problem with drunk Lindsay because it's like
miscommunication.
Dude, this is a lot of like, listen, every friendship requires a little bit of like emotional work and like holding people's like problems in their hands. And I think a lot of people are like, this is going to be quicksand tomorrow, or like, this is quicksand now, but then it's just going to fall right through our hands. Like, it's not going to be a problem tomorrow. So why am I getting involved tomorrow or tonight?
Agreed. It's hilarious. I love that she owns it. She's like, whatever. It's a big,
she's like, I'm a mess. Let's move on.
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
And then Andrea makes that hilarious comment about how she went from Niagara Falls to the Sahara Desert. And it took me a minute.
And no one gets it.
It took me a minute, but once I got it, that was funny. So we need to have a fun day today. We're going to go to a winery and Kyle got us a party bus because if you saw those flashbacks, he loves the party bus. I was about to say,
this is old school summer house now.
The party bus. Okay, so it's 12:05. Des Moines, is that it? Des Moines. I love French.
I was about to say, do you remember when you tried that cookie dough and you're like, ducks, whatever. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
love
duh.
French. I think it's just called dough.
Oh,
'Cause it was
dough. That was
cookie
it.
dough,
Yeah, you're
but it
right.
was
It was
spelled
dough.
with an E and an X. So
Yeah.
I was
This
like,
is Dumois,
yups.
that like Instagram account.
Noir. So they report that a country music star is hanging out with Kristen Cavallari. I said it.
Which, I mean, I remember when this
Good
is
for
all
you, girl.
happening. It feels like light years away.
I love Kristen. Anyway, Maya feels overwhelmed by Oliver, but she is gonna see him again. She just wasn't feeling it last night, which I appreciate. I appreciate a man that understands I'm not feeling it sometimes, but I'll feel it later.
Hell yeah.
But then the girls, it's like Maya, Paige, Sierra, and Amanda. They talk about how they're not feeling Lindsay, and Sierra's mad that Lindsay isn't with Austin, because if she claims she likes Austin, then Lindsay should be with Austin. Which I was like, girl, you're gonna be pissed either way.
That too, but like somebody having feelings for someone and not being with them when you don't live in the same city, just because you have feelings for someone doesn't mean you have to pursue it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think
mean
it
you
is
need to date
frustrating,
someone.
and it does hurt more whenever someone does tell you they have feelings for the same person and don't pursue it, and
Yeah.
or I'm gonna say
Don't
half
do
pursue
anything.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel Sears hurt here, because it's like, you just told me you liked him so much, and now the next week and nothing's happening, but she's not bound to it just because she said she liked him.
Yeah. And Austin's not here, and Lindsay doesn't want a boyfriend. She's
Yeah.
gonna freaking do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're talking about Lindsay's dating history, and Lindsay does want Hot Hub Summer, but Amanda doesn't know how Lindsay's so invested in every guy, and she has a new guy every week, which I think this might just be Lindsay. Like, she fully loves this bitch, does not hold back.
I agree. And it's hard for me to comprehend this because I'm not this way. And I think it's similar for Amanda. Like, she's not this way. So it's just like, what the hell is going on here? Because how can you pour so much of yourself into someone and then a week later move on? And I find it very hard to comprehend too, just because like, I can't do this.
I'm a good middle person. If I love you, whether you're a friend or a significant other, I will pour my heart and soul into you.
But when you like choose to give something, you're going to give it all.
Oh, all of it. But it takes me a little bit to get there. But once I'm there, I'm locked. I tell all my friends I love them so much every time I see them.
The level of Lindsay with the love, but not the speed of Lindsay.
Yes.
I'll say.
So I could get it. Once you love someone, you just full heart. I'm in. Anyway, but I think Lindsay does want no strings attached. Like, I think this is no strings attached. She loves
I think
you,
the only thing that isn't no strings attached is Austin. Yes.
That's just messy.
That is strings everywhere.
Messy shit.
Anyway, but I think she is attempting a no strings attached hookup. I think she just does it instead of just doing a bunch of one night stands. She kind of does it week at a time, maybe.
Yeah. She's too funny. It's hilarious.
Like, she hangs on to people a little bit longer than your typical no strings attached. So again, I think it's hard for people to comprehend this, because she's not playing by their rules, but she doesn't need to play by their rules. She needs to play by her rules. It's
almost like she's gonna attach you by a string until she finds a different string. Then she's gonna cut that one and tie the new one. Yeah. She's gonna, she has like takes a week, a month, a year.
They say at the end of a story, you want things all tied up. It's like Lindsay has these old strings all hanging off, but she doesn't want them tied up. She's like, I don't need it. I'm done. Move on.
Yeah. And if she wants to backslide, she's gonna backslide, I bet.
Oh, hell yeah. Go off.
So Amanda and Kyle are figuring out their hair for the wedding. Kyle actually hasn't thought about it yet, believe it or not. But it's crazy. They're getting married in 28 days. It actually takes 28 days to break a habit. So if they're going to break up now, it's got to be now.
Well, I was thinking Kyle now is like your last ditch effort of like,
now's the chance.
Let's not get hammered and run away from Amanda.
Okay. Can I also say they're always talking about how there's so much to do, but weren't these people engaged for the longest time? My friend is having a 2-year engagement, and this bitch has not complained once. She's complained about the money, but she's like, I got plenty of time to get all my shit.
But I was about to say, I have been thinking about that, because the things Kyle lists off is like, pick out the cake flavor. And I'm like, you've said that you've planned like 2 other weddings. Why didn't you fucking pick out the cake?
You've had the cake flavor for years. I feel like
maybe you have to like change your bakery, because they're like now doing it at Amanda's parents' house, but like, find a fucking bakery and just say, I want red velvet.
Yeah, honestly. Also, no one wants your fancy ass cake. Anyone. Just get vanilla chocolate, red velvet, or like
No
strawberry
one,
or
yeah,
some
no
shit.
one actually
Don't
cares that much about your cake. I'm gonna be honest. Do it for you and
literally.
just pick it and move on.
I don't think I have cake at any weddings I go to. So what a waste of your money. Anyway, so we're on the party bus. Smells like hookers and shame in here.
Oh God.
Fuck yeah. Okay, so Danielle has a game for everyone. There's, I think, what, 30 seconds on the
2
clock.
minutes. She said
2
2
minutes. That's a long
minutes,
time.
which they do not play that way because I think they quick,
No.
whenever it starts to get really too heated, I feel like they switch.
Just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 2 minutes. You set a timer. Everyone can ask one person questions. And if you don't answer it, you got to take a shot, which they also don't do. They just take a sip of their drink. Anyway, I'll just give you the highlights. Danielle's never done anal. Maya has wet dreams every day and she masturbates every day. She's A-okay by herself. This bitch don't need no man.
Nope.
Alex has never had a threesome or done anal, but he has been caught jerking off. Sierra likes Austin better for sex than Carl. I think the other option was, I don't know.
No, then
Or
Luke.
Alex.
Then Luke.
Oh,
then
then Luke. That's it.
she
Yes.
did date Luke.
So Austin's better, but she doesn't want to answer who's a better kisser, Alex or Carl. So she drinks. Kyle's favorite part of Amanda's body is her vagina. Paige would move to Charleston for Craig. She doesn't answer if she's in love with Craig, though. She's not in love.
I know. I
Get
think this is
married.
one of those things that like she doesn't want to say it right now. I think she's in love with him. I think he's in love with her at this moment, but you're not ready to admit it.
This man won't even say they're exclusive, and he's talking about meeting parents.
This man is
we're not in love with him at all.
Yeah, meeting the parents is no big deal.
Yeah, absolutely not. Paige does say though that Andrea's the biggest dick she's been with.
I mean, he doesn't really phrase that question too hard to answer, but yes, that is I feel like the biggest hitter of this whole question game.
And then Lindsay is asked if she saw a future with Carl, like an actual future where they were endgame, and she drinks. She doesn't answer. She just drinks.
Well, she does say it's a really tough question to answer, and they're all like, just drink.
Danielle was like, just drink.
Just drink.
Danielle knows the answer. Yep. Anyway, so we get to the winery. It's in Italian, the land of vine. Great. So Alex thought we were going to walk around and take a bunch of pictures. He needed it for his Hinge profile, but they're not. So we're all just going to sit at a table and argue. Anyway, Andrea cheerses with Lindsay for happiness in the love life because he's on one side where he's just like mourning his love life, whereas Lindsay just like doesn't want a love life. So she's just like, she just has 1 week loves and then moves on. Yes.
They're definitely in the different departments of where their love life is at.
Lindsay and Carl go play some bags. It's not called cornhole. I don't give a fuck. What do you call it? Missouri,
I say whatever the people I'm around say because I just want them to actually play
some bags. So okay, so Andrea's biggest wish is to be in love. He wants the love. He met someone he kind of loved, Lexi, and then he starts crying. So all the girls, besides Lindsay, because she's playing bags, all the other girls go around and start comforting him, and they're like, oh my God, are you okay? And they stopped talking because Andrea didn't want to 100% commit, and now he's upset, and he starts making the timeline, but no one understands it because this is the way it was presented before, is he and Paige started hooking up in Vermont. Then they got home from Vermont and spent some time together. Then like they kind of fell off. I don't know the exact things.
It just fizzled out in the spring.
Yeah. She was hooking up with Craig. He then met Lexi. He really loved Lexi, but then the summer's coming and he said, I don't know what's going to happen with Paige. I'm going to spend a whole summer with her. I think there could be a connection. So he dumps Lexi. So then he goes,
I think Lexi said, I want it to be exclusive or not. And he was like, well, I can't do that.
Yes. So he goes into the house with Paige. Paige obviously picks Craig, and now we're here. So no one else gets this because they're like, well, how are you in love with someone if you're
they didn't get it laid out like that. That's over this whole season.
I think, listen, if it was laid out a little better, I think they could see that Andrea maybe didn't realize what he had with Lexi till it was gone.
I agree. Right? I think because he does, the one thing he does say for his timeline's sake is, I didn't meet Lexi till like 10 days after Paige, you and I kind of like stopped. Like when you went to Charleston to go see Craig, I met Lexi. So like there was no overlap in the first part.
No.
But I think he's having a little buyer's remorse in a way where it's like he went forward with Paige, and because it didn't work out, it's like, oh, I did really have something with Lexi. But if it had worked out with Paige, he obviously wouldn't be feeling this way.
Yeah. I think you can have feelings for more than one person. I do. Yeah. I think especially if like this one person you were really good with and then they kind of disappear and you don't know, but you're about to spend a whole summer with them, you can romanticize it in your head a little bit and be like, I don't know what's going to happen. And also I appreciate that he wasn't like stringing Lexi along a little bit. He was like, I can't commit to you.
Yep.
But Paige is really upset because she almost stopped talking to Craig because Andrea was coming on so hard, and Paige feels totally used. Now, I'm not saying she can't feel totally used, because I think she can, because there was kind of like this, you were coming on super strong. And I do think if it had worked out with Paige, he wouldn't have buyer's remorse.
Yes. I don't think used is the right word for this, because like he didn't use her. He was into Paige.
Yeah.
I think he wasn't clear about what else he had going on. Like Paige came in and like Andrea found out, like, I mean, I don't think Paige was the most clear coming into the house, but Andrea found out pretty quickly that there was Craig on the side, even though like Lexi wasn't on the side per se for this portion of the summer. There was no conversation about like, oh, I have been seeing someone prior to coming into the house.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big misunderstanding. And honestly, I don't really think Paige, not that Paige shouldn't get upset because her feelings are valid. I just think, why get upset when you got Craig? You know, like you came out, you got your thing.
I agree.
Shows.
I think if there's anything she could say, it's like, okay, but you didn't seem this upset prior to this summer. So like it seems like you've done a 180 with your feelings. I feel like that's the biggest thing that I would call it if I was Paige. Like, well,
180,
yeah, like, did you really actually like her this much? Because it didn't really seem like it until I had picked Craig.
But now Andrea and Lexi are very happy together. So enjoy.
Today's world.
You know what? Convo doesn't
April
even
2022
matter. It all doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, so Lindsay steps in. She lets them know it's fine. I don't know how this happened. Can I just say before we get into this, I started laughing because I at one point out loud go, what the fuck is going on? Like, it was so messy.
And we like kind of knew because of the preview, like what was going to happen. So I've just been like waiting for it to happen.
Lindsay's here and she's talking about how she flirts with it. Oh, that's it. She's like, who cares if Andrea's flirting with everyone?
She's like, we're the same.
Paige. Like, we're all flirting.
Yeah, we're all having a great summer. We're flirting with everyone.
So then Amanda's like, Lindsay, are you, by flirting with everyone, covering up anything else? And Lindsay's like,
that is not how she says it though. She says, I'm asks
paraphrasing
them. I know, but I just want to put this out there because I think it's easy to change what people's intent are based on their words. But Amanda asks if they think, which is asks both Andrea and Lindsay, like each, do you think
you're right,
with your actions that you may be covering up some feelings? Because, and this plays into like Andrea, like covering up his feelings for Lexi by pursuing things with, Paige, and like is Lindsay covering up maybe something else by like hooking up with other people?
Yes, you're right. She does ask both of them, but Lindsay's the one that says, nope, I'm not me.
Yeah.
And so then Amanda says flirting with multiple people is covering up for something. And Lindsay says, actually, she's in therapy, so she knows herself really well. I appreciate this. I thought it was so funny. Lindsay will not back down or like listen.
Lindsay at this table, I think like handles herself well and like fun and flirty with her responses.
She was just trying to be fun. She was like, we're all flirting.
I don't think she wants to like have this conversation either of like, I think Lindsay can see where it's going and she's trying to get fun and just like move off of it.
I'm in therapy.
I'm in therapy. So like, we're good.
I got me.
Next.
So Amanda says, yeah, but you're falling fast and hard for people. Mm-hmm. And Lindsay's like, so that's me, my friend. Like, I do that constantly.
Yeah.
And then Sierra's feelings come into play because like it's not all fun when other people's feelings are involved, and then like there are consequences and everything.
And even
then
outside of Sierra's feelings, like if a guy really liked her and then like thought they were gonna have something with her, like those are other people's feelings too. Like that is one downside of like a hot
flirting
hub
and doing your
summer
thing,
is like there are some people do develop feelings, and so it's kind of something you need to think about.
That's true, but Lindsay seems like the type where she'd be like, I'm hot hub summer this summer.
Yes, yeah.
So then Danielle kind of gets involved and says that's horseshit, and then Kyle tells her to calm down, and she says, no, you calm down. I love when someone goes calm down and the response is you calm down. So then Paige says there are repercussions for your actions, and also at some point, I don't think I wrote it down, but at some point Paige does therapy shame Lindsay and tells her that she needs to get a new therapist.
She does not say it to
Not
Lindsay. I'll tell you.
Oh, behind her back. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Paige says there's repercussions for accident or her actions. And Lindsay
and then
says
we like
she
get
apologized.
the Sierra talk again. I'm like, oh, why?
Yeah.
I don't think this conversation has anything to do with Sierra, in my opinion.
Think so either.
I genuinely think that Sierra Amanda is like bringing this up, just truly just saying like, hey,
I think she's worried.
Have you thought about this? Yeah. And the fact that this now is getting brought back to the Austin and Sierra drama again, I'm like, no.
I think Amanda did mean it. Not that she's necessarily worried like what Lindsay's doing, but just worried for Lindsay overall as her friend.
Just
like doesn't want Lindsay to get hurt. And then Sierra coming in and going like, well, my feelings are involved. We were all like, no.
Like we were generically talking about
stop.
The overall hot hub summer. Like
yeah. We don't need to talk
not
about
this one catastrophic event that we already dove into way too much.
So then by not trying to start drama, she caused drama. Amanda gets up and like cries.
She's upset. She's so upset with how this conversation has turned, because I think Amanda knows as soon as it got turned to the Austin Sierra crap, like she's lost her audience with Lindsay.
So Sierra says she apologized for throwing wine at Danielle, but Lindsay should have apologized more for the Austin thing, because she only apologized once.
Not 100 times.
Lindsay then says Austin was clear with Sierra with what he wanted, which he was, but it's just shut up. No one cares. So then Amanda's really upset. She's just concerned Lindsay's not okay. And I think this is where she might be talking to Paige and Kyle.
Yes. I don't know if it's Kyle, but it's definitely, I think it is Kyle.
I think it's Kyle, because Kyle kind of loses it he's like, she's always like this.
Yeah.
So, well,
I think, okay, so Amanda gets up, Kyle follows her, and Amanda's like tearing up, just saying like she is concerned that she's being kind of avoidant, whatever. And then Paige comes to check on Amanda, and they kind of talk about how like if like this is how you feel and this is how you handle things, and you say like you're fine, and because you have a therapist, Paige says that then maybe you need a new therapist if because I'm just gonna say that this is what I think Paige is saying, that like clearly your therapist isn't doing a good job if you are handling things this way and processing things this way, which is not true, because
she's grieving. You can't tell someone
like she's doing whatever the fuck she wants, and that's for her to talk to her therapist about. And like, listen, if you're not getting what you want out of therapy, if Lindsay herself is not getting out of what she wants, then yes, she needs to find a new therapist. But other than that, just because Paige isn't seeing results that Paige wants to see out of Lindsay does not mean she needs a new therapist, because guess what? Lindsay's not going to therapy for Paige to be happy. Yeah.
I also think that I'm assuming Paige and Sierra don't know the full story about Lindsay's miscarriage and everything.
I agree.
So now they're kind of being like, well, you're acting this way and you're wrong and you need a new therapist. And it's like, maybe she's not going into therapy and saying, hey, I'm hooking up with all these guys. Maybe she's genuinely talking about grieving, and this is her way of grieving. And like,
and maybe she is talking about hooking up with guys, but maybe the goal is like, let's take this step by step. And like, if she is upset with how she's acting and talking to her therapist about it, things don't change overnight. So like a therapist is working with you for the long haul of it, not for next weekend.
Yes,
If that
agreed.
is something she's ashamed of, which I'm gonna
I
follow
don't think
what
she's a-
her words are, not like, and her actions are. And if she wants to change her mind later and just say like she regrets that, that's fine. Not that she needs to, but I'm following what Lindsay's saying, and she's saying she's happy with it.
so
So
we gotta
sometimes you just
take
got to
it.
follow what your friends are telling you rather
Yes.
than what you think your friends need.
Yeah, agreed. So we take a little break because Alex and Andrea talk about how vulnerable Andrea is, and he starts crying because he just wants everyone to be happy. They can't have one
This isn't
fucking
funny.
dinner.
And unfortunately, I'm like, oh, Alex, you're now the new Luke, where it's like Andrea's
Yeah,
going through this and you don't know the backstory. So it's like, but I do appreciate
yeah.
Alex and Andrea being like, you know what? I'm not going to be a part of this like bullshit conversation. Let's like walk off and
But
like have our
then
own thing.
Andrea drops an iconic line of, just because he's good looking doesn't mean he doesn't have problems.
I mean, Alicia, we have the
You're
same
right.
thing.
I feel you.
Just
That's
because I'm
my
good
problem.
looking doesn't mean I don't have
I
problems.
got
But
it.
I do see that, like, you see a lot of the times people say, like, oh, check on your friends who are happy or who seem happy, because,
Yeah,
like,
they might
Andrea's
not be.
definitely that bubbly, like, outgoing type that, he does struggle with things and probably, like, just kind of wants to keep the mood up and rather
Yeah,
than talking about his problems.
agreed. So Amanda is still concerned.
Hmm.
She doesn't, no one else is concerned. Everyone else is yelling at Lindsay. Amanda's the only one with
Yes.
any kind of, I think, good intentions at this point, but it just like was not the
Intentions that
moment.
line up with actions. Because I think
Yes.
people can have good and bad intentions all at the same
Yes.
time, unfortunately.
So Amanda's gonna go talk with Lindsay separately. Meanwhile, Kyle pees in a bush. And then
It's a
Carl,
vine. It's a
it's a
vine.
vine. So you can tell Lindsay's already just activated and on defense
Hmm.
mode because Carl goes, "Hey, are you okay?" And she goes, "Why wouldn't I be okay? Is everyone asking why I'm okay?" And I think it was just a bad moment
And I
because
want,
Amanda asked if she was okay. Like it was just like,
yes, yes. And I
why?
want to normalize, like, actually, your friend should be asking if you're okay, because guess what? A
Yeah.
lot of us are really great at hiding it. So, like, your friend's checking in on, and Carl says this basically, like, I'm her
She's just
friend.
my
Like,
friend.
it's normal for me to check
Yeah.
in on her
Because
and say, are you
Danielle's like,
okay? Yeah. Lindsay's
because
like, would
Danielle's
you
like,
ask Paige if
stop.
she's okay? And it's like, actually, yeah, I think he would, if like,
Yeah.
because
If Paige walked past him
I don't think he's asking if she's okay in this, like, the topic of the
overall
conversation, like the, are you okay hooking up with people? I think it's like, hey, there's been a lot
in
of tense
this moment,
conversation. Are you
yeah, are you
good?
okay? So Amanda and Lindsay talk. Amanda's saying it's hard in a group setting, and I agree. I think Amanda's not one to bring up things in a group setting, and I think Lindsay's not one to listen in a group setting. So
However,
this is
really quick
better.
is where I'm going to put in here. This is a reality TV show. These
Yes.
conversations have to happen like this. So, like,
Yeah, it's got to be
I don't
messy.
want the conversation of like, oh my God, Amanda should have done it a different way. I think Amanda should have done it a
No.
different way in real life. However, we are in a show. Every conversation that's intense is going to be brought up at
Yes.
a group table because it has to for drama.
I just think for Amanda, because obviously she cannot handle the group,
Mm-hmm.
she should have been like, "Hey, Lindsay, want to go on a walk?" And in front of the cameras, done it separately. Just because I think Amanda, like if it
But
was
like,
Paige, yeah, bring it
to
up at
make
the
a good
table.
show, you're never going
You
to do
got it.
that.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Amanda's just not. Amanda's good on TV, but she's not great. Like Lindsay, Paige, though they're
Yeah.
great on
Yes.
TV.
They like bring
Amanda's too
the hype moments.
sensitive.
I was about to say Amanda cares
A little
about the real life of it
yeah. She
and
cares
like
about people.
mixes like her reality TV with her reality. Whereas I think
Yes.
Paige can like separate things, and Lindsay can separate some things. Obviously, some personal things get put in there,
Yeah.
but Amanda can't have this
No.
conversation in public. So it does
No,
need to be
that's
private.
why we're doing it to the
Yeah.
side. So Amanda wants to know if Lindsay's okay because they're friends and she
Mhm.
knows single Lindsay, and this has not been the single Lindsay that she's gotten to know before.
Which I kind of agree. This is a little bit different.
It is. So then Lindsay says that everyone's being judgmental. And she's come to terms with that she's a crazy person while dating and she loves diving in the deep end and she doesn't want to waste any time. I think also her age is like getting to her where she's like, I don't have time to play these games. We're gonna go full out.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go at
Full
all.
throttle. I'm not gonna just like sit passively and wait for Mr. Perfect to show up. You know what? I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna play in this messy like
good for her.
field we have.
So then Amanda does bring up the miscarriage. And it's like, you've been through something.
She says it so delicately too.
I know. She was like, so I don't even know how she
This
did
is
it.
how
But
I
she was
know
just
her.
like,
her intent is so pure.
Yes.
She's like, you've been through something. Like, I'm worried about you.
Are you sad?
Yeah.
Then she asked, like, are you sad? And Lindsay's upset because she shouldn't have to justify being happy. She's having hot hub summer. And Amanda just wants to make sure she's okay. But Lindsay's pissed. Lindsay's like, I'm fucking fine.
I'm over
My God.
it. I'm fine. I get over things fast and I'm fine.
If someone's yelling at me and they're going, I'm fine, I don't believe you're fine.
I agree.
But if someone's constantly questioning my happiness, fuck yourself. But the thing is, it isn't
constant. This is the one time I think it's truly from Amanda.
Amanda. I think throughout the summer, everyone's been judging her.
But I do want to say to that, most of it's been behind closed doors. So Lindsay doesn't know about it yet. That's like true. There have been a lot of, and you put this on our like Insta story. Yeah. Like this isn't the first slut shaming like one, like there's been a lot worse in our opinions. However, Lindsay doesn't know about those yet.
True. She has no idea.
I don't think she does. Most of them have not been in front of her. So almost like a producer told her or somebody else, like a part of the conversation told her. She doesn't know.
Yeah. But okay. So we're ending it. There are a lot of opinions about this. I don't think slut shaming and therapy shaming are ever okay. If someone's in therapy, they want to be a better person for themselves. Yeah. So if you don't like that, then like that's kind of your problem.
And guess what? A lot of times when people put in like boundaries, you hate them because they're actually stopping the behaviors you're probably doing.
Yes. So I do think Lindsay does get activated very fast. I also think she is drunk. So I was about to say,
we're also drinking. This is not like a Sunday morning, like sitting in our bed conversation.
And we don't hate Paige. I actually really love Paige. I just think there has to be a villain. And I think we don't have Hannah. Luke is no longer the villain. Kyle's not the villain this episode. It's Sierra and Paige. Those are the villains.
Yeah. And I see it as like, I mean, I think Sierra is definitely, I'm going to say like the villain of this season. And I think Paige is like her sidekick. Cause like, she's trying to be a friend to Sierra. So she's like in it with her, in the fight with her. But I don't think it's never TV. Like that too. And I think a lot of times, like we talk about this a lot, like, again, this is a show, like this is all being edited. Like everybody has positive moments and everybody has terrible moments. Like, let's think about 2 episodes ago where like Lindsay was kind of the villain of the episode in a way. Like this season, I think is the most fluctuating of like
there's a new villain every episode.
On top, I'll say, and who's like kind of hated for the moment. But that's what real life is too.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Plus, I think when like Lindsay's edit is different when she's the villain because she's probably drunk, yelling and it's like kind of funny. Whereas like Sierra's hurt like she's the hurt person. So when she's the villain, she just like goes really low beneath the belt. So it, like she's
reacting and like acting out of the like sadness and hurt.
Yes.
So it looks
like different.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
To be clear. And I don't think I could say this about any other reality show. I don't hate anyone on Summer House.
No, not like truly hate them at the end of the day. Like I'm frustrated with people's actions, but again, like,
but I would hang out with any of them. I would hang out with literally any of them. Okay, so next time it's Labor Day weekend. It's last weekend. We're gonna do a prom, and Andrea and Paige are gonna go together.
Oof.
Which everyone's like, is Craig gonna care?
Yeah.
Paige doesn't care though, because they're not exclusive.
These are the games I don't like playing in dating.
Yeah, this is why Lindsay full-heartedly goes.
Not that I have some like lawyer, pillow maker, reality TV star from Charleston pitted against an Italian stallion model, but these are the games I don't like playing.
You don't?
I'm not in this particular game. I'm in the Z level version of this game. The free one off the app store.
We got some guy working at a consulting firm that sometimes talks to his mom, and then some like, I don't know, other guy at a consulting firm that only talks to his dad. So
some engineer who like can't talk.
yeah, but he's making money, so we gotta pick. So the prenups brought up to Amanda's parents. Lindsay and Carl kind of flirt. That's all I got. And then Kyle loses his shit. I forget about what, but Kyle lost his shit and I'm down.
And I'm so pumped because I need Paige. I think we kind of see Paige put him in his place a little bit. Like Kyle, we don't really give we don't
Oh,
really give a
that's
fuck
it.
what we don't revolve
Yes.
our life around your feelings.
She was literally like, I don't give a fuck. You think I care what you think of me? Keep yelling. Those are I've said this before. I love when people freak out and I just go, keep yelling at me. That's fine.
Paige does so well with guys yelling at her.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yelling.
Like, I love the way she
I
reacts.
know.
And it's like, yeah, keep going. Like, this will only like get better for you.
So we're gonna do polls really quick. I asked people if they were embarrassed for Lindsay when she was calling.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was, but I think even Lindsay would be like, okay, that was a little embarrassing. Like,
it was like, yeah, no,
you're
was
like
just a
drunk
night.
dumbness.
Or like, I thought it was kind of funny. I voted, I thought it was kind of funny, but
if that were me, and this,
I'd be embarrassed
putting my feelings on Lindsay by any means. I'm just saying, if I did that, and I have done shit like that, I wake up the next morning and I'm kind of in a shame spiral. And I'm like, fucking A, Meredith, why do we have to do this shit?
Watching it though, it's fun.
I'm more of a texter. You know me, I'm a rage texter.
You're a rage texter.
I would have like rage texted the hell out of this.
So people voted yes, it was bad. I asked people, do you think Lindsay's allowed to do whatever she wants? Hot Hub Summer or slow down? Hot Hub Summer won by a landslide.
Oh yeah, she can do whatever she wants. Like, let's all remember we're autonomous human beings.
I asked if Paige and Sierra are coming from a good place. No was the overall number
no
one answer.
For Paige and Sierra. I think they're looking for some like retaliation a little bit.
So then I said, should the girls be giving their opinions on Lindsay's life? I included Amanda in there, but the overall answer was still no.
I think, okay, here's the thing. I think everybody has right to give thoughts and opinions in a constructive way.
Yes.
I don't think this environment was constructive overall. However, and then by the time Amanda got to a constructive place, Lindsay was no longer able to receive anything constructive. But if you think about it, like, if you sit down with someone you care about, you should, as the friend and as a person in their life, be able to share your worries about people in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think, like you said, it was not constructive. Yeah. And I think only close people can do that. And I don't think that's Paige and Sierra for Lindsay.
I agree with that. Like, well, they can, because everybody has a right to their own, being, but I don't think they should.
Taken well. It's not going to be taken well.
I don't think
then I asked, was Amanda doing the right thing? And my answers were, yes, she cares about Lindsay. No, it's none of her business. Her heart's in the right place, but it was the wrong time and words, or she cannot be trusted because of her friends. So overall, what won was her heart's in the right place. It just wasn't the right time or words.
I agree.
No one said yes overall. No one was like, yeah, she cares.
I agree, because it's like, that she, like, Lindsay has an issue, especially with Sierra. Like, if it was right overall, like, for sure Lindsay or like Sierra wouldn't be there.
Yeah. Okay. Then I said, can Paige be upset about what Andrea was talking about? Like, yes, no, or a little. No one. I think I voted the little. I was like, whatever. And then I asked, did Paige make the right decision? Craig, Andrea, they're both fine options, or Paige deserves neither. And Andrea won, which I think, like,
the Paige deserves neither option was getting a little too many for me to not laugh at.
I was like, woo. Yeah. Also, really quick, we didn't do fun, not fun.
Okay, well, we both agree on our fun. I'm 90%.
Oh my God, I texted you about this.
Yes,
I knew Robert.
It's Robert. I mean, Robert. It's everything.
It's Robert.
I want
the girl who went to Paris.
He better be able to come to that reunion, is all I'm saying. Because if he at least sits down for a moment at that reunion, that means we have opened the door to him becoming a full cast member.
Also, shout out Robert for posting my tweet on his Instagram.
I forgot about it. That alone, because I saw that and texted you about it before I even watched the episode, and I was like, he's my fun. He's my fun.
He's my fun. Okay, who's not fun?
Sorry, but it has to be Paige. I'm so not down for the I'm so not down for the therapy shaming. Like, I told Alicia this, like, before we started recording. I've told my sister before, I think she needs a new therapist, but it's been in a situation where, like, it's a conversation between us, and I'm not seeing that feels improvement or it's working for her. So it's like me providing that constructive feedback to her. I don't like that, because
Like
the
a
way
joke
Paige
of,
says it, yeah, it's a joke and it's meant to be a diss. And I don't like that at all. As someone who
Agreed.
regularly attends therapy.
I'm gonna do Andrea. Listen, I love him, but he's just a little too sad for me right now. I just don't want it. I want to
And
be happy.
It is like timeline thing does the way he was saying it
It
does
was
not
weird.
make sense
It
to
was
the
bad.
ladies. Like,
It was
get
bad.
your timelines in order, people. And with that, I'm gonna say, go to our Instagram, because I made a full fucking timeline about Summer and Winter House outside of this new
Timeline's
drama.
weird.
Just literally when seasons were filmed, when seasons
What was
aired,
happening? Yeah.
and when some Watch What Happens live appearances happened, along
Yes.
with Amanda and Kyle's wedding date.
Love. Okay, really quick, we're gonna do Watch What Happens Live because it was Maya and Lala. So we get both our podcasts really quick. I really hope they become real life friends because Maya was falling in
Ooh.
love with Lala. She was like, I'm
Ooh.
obsessed. So Oliver was in the audience because they're together. Lala is single and ready to mingle. Maya had no idea that the Lindsay and Amanda thing happened in the vineyard. Like she was not aware. She does say Lindsay was going through his stuff and Amanda was trying to be a good friend, but it wasn't the right situation.
Yeah.
Also, listen, Maya was great, but you can totally tell that Lala's been doing this way longer. She was expert. She was fantastic. Maya caught no vibes of Carl and Lindsay in the house. She had no idea.
But she didn't know them prior either.
I know,
so, like,
yeah. She heard about the finger bang though.
Oh, well, of course. Who hasn't?
Kyle let her know. Kyle's a shit stir.
I feel like, you know how you just like can't hold some like funny comments in and you're like, I need to give you the like landscape you're about to go in. They finger banged.
Maya still doesn't think Craig is boyfriend material.
Oh,
shade.
I mean, I don't want Craig as my boyfriend. I'm gonna be very clear about that.
I want him for my pillows.
I was like, where's this going? And then I remembered
my pillows.
All I could think of is pillows and beer.
She knew Amanda and Kyle would totally get married. She blames Austin for the love triangle. She respects how hard Danielle goes for her friends, but doesn't always agree with how like what she's going hard for.
Yeah. But I feel like Paige kind of is doing the same for Sierra, which like I appreciate loyalty and friendship. So I do love seeing them like go hard. I just wish
Lindsay would slightly like check Sierra in public or in private.
Because Danielle
Paige would slightly check Sierra in private because Danielle checks Lindsay in private.
I agree. I agree with that fully.
Maya's team prenup. There is hostility in the house towards Paige and Sierra for never cleaning. The housemates are not happy, and that does cause a rift. Like even Maya said she would get really mad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it's because it's not even like you're like, okay, I'm gonna come in halfway so I don't have to do as much. They do not openly do anything. And and openly joke about it.
Yeah. So and the minority or like the talk they had about being minorities in the summer house really did change the dynamic, and Maya's very happy she had that conversation. Anyway, really quick with Lala. Lala is trying to get zero contact with Randall. Sorry. Lala says she parallel parents with Randall. They don't co-parent. She doesn't want anything to do with him. Sheena and Lala are in a good place. Lala background checks everyone she dates, but she's taking a break from dating. She thinks Katie was tired of Schwartz because he never picked her at first. And Lala thought Schwartz would.
An e-news article about this, and I'll talk more about this next time we record Vanderpump. But like, yeah, that topic's a very interesting one.
Lala thought Schwartz would step up, but he didn't, and the friend group is not choosing sides. But if they do, Lala would pick Katie. But they've made it very clear they don't want the friend group to pick.
I was gonna say, it seems like at least like it's just like, listen, we don't work. Let's move on.
It's fine.
It's not like a Randall Lala situation.
Lala met James's new girlfriend, and the girlfriend was pretty boring. And Brock and Sheena are still planning the wedding. Lala, if she had to have a thing with one Bravo guy, it would be Andy, but Andy's not into her. So sad. I know that was a good way to get it.
That's where it's like, Lala's been here before. She knows how to answer questions.
Yeah. So then Lala has no idea who Raquel is dating because it's rumored that she was dating someone from Shaws of Sunset, but that's not a thing anymore. We don't know. It's rumored. I forget who. It was the guy that
Forget what the
dated
guy
Sheena.
and Shaws of Sunset got canceled. I don't know
I
if you ever
know,
watched
9
it,
seasons.
but man,
No, I never did, but now I have to.
it's good. It's good. I like come in and out and watch it.
Maya clears up that because when Maya was talking to Sierra and was like, "You're better than this," she did not mean that Sierra was better than Lindsay. She meant Sierra was better than throwing a glass of wine.
I think that's how it came
took
off
that
to me.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, like you're better than these actions. Like this is not you.
People didn't think so.
Weird.
Lala bought Ocean an $800 bag because she
that.
can.
I love
She can.
I love it.
I love that.
Lala gives me like Lindsay vibes, you know, like unapologetically herself, and I appreciate it.
Maya says that Lindsay probably didn't kiss Austin to get back at Sierra, but it's hard to believe that Lindsay wasn't aware of how Sierra felt about Austin.
Agree with that.
Maya doesn't think anyone in the house is sexy, which is a lie because Carl is so hot.
Oh my God, I can't.
There's nothing attractive about Austin. She's never been caught masturbating, but Lala has by a roommate. I think it was Danny, the way she described it in Stassi's old apartment when she lived with Danny. It had to be Danny. Okay, Randall's ranking as a producer is 0.
Wait, like
Lala, they go, or Andy goes, Lala, what would you rate Randall as a producer?
Oh, I thought it was like a public poll.
From 1 to 10.
That's
0.
Amazing. He got a 0. That's kind of like his Rotten Tomatoes 0.
And then James or Randall, and she picked James.
Hook up with James. That's not even fair.
I know. But a Utah Jazz player slid into her DM, so we never know.
Shut the fuck up.
Best time to please a lady, Sandoval over Schwartz, for sure.
Oh, I would agree, but I wouldn't want either.
We trust Kristen the least to watch a baby.
I think she would be drunk.
Oh, this is the part I was like, I got to get to something. The whole truth about Randall isn't out yet. There's more, and they're just not talking about it yet because I don't think like everything's finalized. But Lala said the truth will come out, and her engagement ring was fake. It wasn't real. It was not real diamonds. It was worth nothing.
Whoa.
He said it was 150 grand. It was worth nothing because she figured it out because when she left, he didn't ask for the ring back, even though he supposedly got it insured. So then she went to go check it out and it is worth 0, nothing. It's fake, completely fake. And she says there's more we don't know.
I was about to say she has like alluded to some tax liens and that he has like a lot of back taxes.
Yeah, there's more.
And so it definitely seems like some financial issues.
That's why he couldn't pay for Brack's proposal. He was broke. Just kidding. Maya and Oliver spend 4 nights a week together. So there's that. And Maya thinks Harry Hamlin should be a housewife, which I was like, I agree.
Oh my God, the way he makes pasta sauce.
Yeah, Andy goes, I think I still have it in my freezer. And I was like, dude, that's like 8 years old.
No. He got some after the last season.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that was Watch What Happens Live. Some tea for you.
I mean, stellar episode.
It was great. Great episode of Watch What Happens Live. Maya's this fucking star.
I love her and I need more, and I need Robert as a cast member.
I'm excited for this reunion already.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. And I can't wait to see what happens leading up to this wedding, because like Kyle and Amanda are doing great thus far, minus the little prenup talk, which I don't find concerning for them to get married off of this talk. But I need it settled because I just need to move on from their drama.
Hang on really quick. Cameron gave us some stuff. She feels bad for Andrea because like that hello hug that he gave Paige at the beginning, like mixed signals maybe, but then she's meeting Craig's parents, so we don't know. Also,
but in the same way, back to Andrea, like he's sending mixed signals to Paige and not talking about his Lexi stuff. Yeah. They're doing it to each other.
Kind of wish we didn't know that Lindsay and Carl and Andrea and Lexi are together. It might have made it juicier. And last one, Lindsay sure knows how to keep the ball rolling. I'll say I'm a little bit jelly of her ability to do that. Sarah obviously feels dumb since Lindsay's on to the next one already. And I really wish Sierra could loosen up a little bit. Her Capricorn serious energy coming through though. Also, holy moly, activated drunk Lindsay, though. Feel bad for that dude. Like Kyle said, they've only been talking a week.
I know.
The way
That's
I
why
love
I would
and
be
fear Hub House.
embarrassed. It's a
Ugh.
week and you're screaming at him on the phone for not
So funny.
for not coming to your house.
So funny. Cameron, you make a really good point. I think that is hilarious. It makes it better. Okay. So now, sorry, it was a really long episode, but be sure to follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta, and look out for One Season Wonders. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's our best show. Okay.
Yes. We solidified the top 2 picks are the Princes of Malibu and the Lindsay Lohan Beach Club. So check out those whenever they do come out, or join our Patreon to get them sooner.
Bye.
Bye.